Hi everyone, it's Lisa again here from the Paris Bourbon County Library. We hope you're all healthy. Today I'm going to be sharing a craft that involves a wine cork. So we're going to be making a cute little ornament out of this wine cork today. So give me just a moment, let me readjust the angle of our camera and we'll get started on our supplies and we'll actually finish up our wine cork today. Okay, I think this is really going to help you see the detail of the ornament itself. But before we get started and before we even look really at our ornaments, let's look at the supplies that you could possibly need for this. The essential things that you are going to need are a washer. Now there's something called a fender washer that has a smaller center. I didn't ask for those. I just went to the hardware store and asked for washers. I made sure that I took my wine cork in order to be able to kind of fit the measurement correctly. You're also going to need, now preferably there's two, but I'll show you how to do this with just one. You're also definitely going to need what's called an eye screw. It is a small screw that has a little circle at the top, a little eye to it. Other things that you're going to need besides your wine cork, obviously, from there on out, it's up to you. As far as embellishments, I have other buttons, I have just any kind of embellishment that you might think of, really. I've got bells, I've got some greenery, I have ribbon. These are just little jewels that acts as charms. We can use those. I have purchased these. I think I've used them before on a past craft that we have done. Let me pull out that angel wing. That one actually might look really good on here, so we'll pull that one out. And then you'll also notice that I have purchased these Christmas type embellishments that we'll be using periodically on some of the crafts that we have here at the library, and you can add those as well. I'm going to need my glue gun. I'm going to need my scissors for my ribbon to attach to the top. I'm also going to need possibly pliers. These are the only ones that I could find at this point, but hopefully you've got a set that's much smaller. That will help you open up one of your jump rings if you need it. And then I'm using E6000 as in cooperation, with my glue gun. So let's take a look at the ones that I have done so far. This is the one that I started with. This was my prototype, I should say. This is a wine cork. This one is unused. It has 3 red buttons, has 2 silver buttons. It has a jump ring at the top, and to go along with that jump ring, it has one of the tiny little, I think they're called landings, the charms, okay? And then we have our ribbon at the top. This is the one I most recently made. I did not look up the directions for this. I just kind of did this on my own. Obviously, buttons will have either 2 openings or 4 openings. That made it hard to center this. You can use buttons. Let me tell you what I did. I took 2 of these. And you can find these in the jewelry section of Hobby Lobby, Michael's, even Walmart probably carries some of these. I stuck those down through the top. And then, I don't know if you can see that, but right there I pinched those together, and then I was able to get my jump ring on and my charm. Now, after I had done this, I Googled it and found that there's a much easier way to do it. Even though I still like this, like the look of it, there is an easier way to do it, and that is using the washers and the eye screw and a button on the bottom. This also has a washer on it, and then I put one of the embellishments on here. So let's go ahead and get started and see how we're going to put this together. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to put my washer on there first. This one's going to go at the very top. So I'm going to use my E6000. Excuse me. There we go. And I'm also going to use a little bit of hot glue. And I'm going to drop my washer on the top, making sure it's in the center where I want it. Let's put a little bit more glue on there. There we go. That glue had cooled and I had broke the bond when I moved it around. So I need to just leave it alone. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue and coat the end of my eye screw so that it will make sure it sticks down in there. Now, at this point, or before I did this, excuse me, I could have easily put a red button at the very top if I chose to. But how am I going to do that if there's holes in the center here? I'm going to try it with these. I don't know that it'll work. But on the other ones, I was able to simply crack the center of that, and it allowed me to open up one entire hole in the middle. These are buttons that I bought from Amazon. No, this one is not going to let me do that. But if you have the needle nose pliers, you should easily be able to just break out that center, and that will give you an opening that would allow you to go right through with your eye screw, the screw with the eye on the top of it. Okay, let's continue on. From here on out, I'm not going to have anything dangle from the bottom, so I am going to use some of our other embellishments that we've got here. So I'm going to use probably those two. I like that. Let's use these two. So I don't really think I'm going to need my E6000 for that part. I just want to make sure that that is really tight at the top. I think the hot glue, as long as I don't keep moving it around, I think the hot glue will be enough on the end here. That's all I used on the other two. So I think I'm going to put this red one. Let's use the big one. Actually, that's perfect. That's set right down in the little inside of that button there. And then let's use this one on the bottom. Trying to make sure that's center, and I believe it is. And then obviously your next step is to decide if you want any embellishments on this. And some of your embellishments might include, again, some of the holiday themed pieces that I have ordered. This easily can dangle from the top. Let's put that on there. I like that. They do make, obviously, which you probably already know, but they do make these in different colors. A bronze one might look good with this. I'm going to open that up with my fingernails. That wasn't the easiest thing to do. I'll close that up, but I am going to use my pliers to help me a little bit there. Now, not only is this an ornament, but this could easily go on a keychain. And there you go. You can see that little embellishment right there at the top. If I choose to put one of these on it or something on the front of it, I probably would use the E6000. It might get bumped against something, other ornaments and so forth, and you want that to stay on there. So I would use the E6000 as well as the hot glue on that one. Other things that you can do, I bought this at the Dollar Tree, and it is strings, long wired ties that you could use on your Christmas tree or whatever you need. But if you can shorten this a little bit, this also would be a little cute embellishment at the very top of this. So that is a wonderful creative way of taking a wine cork and turning it into a cute ornament. These can be, I'll tell you what, rather than use the ribbon and make an ornament out of it, let's go ahead and slide that onto a key ring. And you can see how cute that would be just on a set of keys. It's very lightweight. It's not cumbersome. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you choose to make any of these, or you have different ideas on what yours might look like, then please feel free to post those to our Facebook page, and we will make sure that we share those. I hope you've enjoyed this craft, and keep crafting.